Dozens of dog owners will now need to find a new place to take their pups. This is after a heated beating ended with a vote to ban animals from a once popular dog park.
And it comes after it was found that the area in this Minneapolis park is believed to be a Native American burial site. Our Barrett Leone live outside the Parks and Recs building that housed that heated meeting, because things definitely got heated last night, Barrett.
Yeah, they sure did. Emotions were running high, but it is official. The Minneapolis Park Board voted to decommission the Minnehaha off-leash dog park. But before the board made that vote last night, they heard from dozens of community members. But first, let's go back just a bit. Now, the land in question is the Minnehaha off-leash dog park. It sits within Minnehaha Regional Park on the banks of the Mississippi River. That area is now believed to be a Native American burial site. After a 2025 archaeological study found it's a sacred site for the Dakota, the board committee consulted with the Native American Advisory Council and passed a resolution in early June that would decommission the space. Park goers gathered petitions. Commissioner Kathy Ebony even pushed the board for more time to decide what to do. But almost the entire board voted the time to decide was now.
You're a guest. You're a guest. You're a guest here.
Minnehaha is all we have. It's the only place left.
It was taken. It was stolen, 100%. I agree with that. I do agree that maybe we can find some sort of middle ground.
So the board will close the park's off-leash area by the end of the year. Visitors will still be allowed to come, but dogs will not be. And the park board says they will consult and work with community members moving forward.
Maybe they can find another space near the water too. At the end of the year, big changes. All right, Barrett, thank you.
6:04 is your time. To the newsroom we go. Maria Lisignoli joins us because, Maria, you're following more anti-ICE protester arrests this morning.
Yes, that's right. Authorities arrested 2 more anti-ICE protesters yesterday. They are charged with impeding ICE agents during and after Operation Metro Surge. These 2 new arrests were part of the 15 people charged on Tuesday. Everyone arrested by federal officers has been released except for one person. Prosecutors had asked the judge for cash bail, but the judge ended up releasing them on the condition they don't protest on federal property or communicate with their co-defendants. One of the protesters charged is Eric Davis, a professor of religious studies at McAllister College in St. Paul. He is formally charged with conspiracy to impede or injure a federal officer. McAllister College has not commented on the charges. Davis is mentioned in the indictment as being at meetings with some of the others who were charged and sending messages to the protest group. His attorney, Jordan Kushner, told us that neither of those things is a crime. He also says he believes prosecutors appear to have had an inside information, possibly from a plant inside some of the protest groups.
They probably had an informant or an undercover agent who probably recorded the conversations and recorded the private messaging through signal chats. And, it's disturbing that the government is putting its resources into spying on political activists.
No future court date has been set. There have previously been other protesters charged for their actions during and after Operation Metro Surge, and some of those cases have been dismissed while others are still alive.
And of course, we'll continue to follow these cases here. Maria, thank you. Now, community organizers believe that these recent indictments are meant to discourage protesting. Organizers say the protesters exercise their constitutional rights by monitoring federal operations, documenting interactions, and alerting neighbors when ICE agents were present. Now, one of those organizers, Amelia Gonzalez-Avalos, she is the executive director of Unidos Minnesota, says that the government's account doesn't reflect what she witnessed during the surge.
It is clear where the mass violence came from, and I think this is an attempt to shift guilt, to shift the narrative, because thousands of constitutional observers and thousands of Minnesotans have a lot of evidence that the violence did not come from regular people here.
Coming up in our next half hour, we have more updates on immigration enforcement in Minnesota, including whether an abandoned prison here will become a holding facility for immigrants. We'll have the response from the man who oversees our state prisons.
President Trump is returning to Washington this morning after a trip to France for the G7 summit.
CBS News' Tina Krause tells us in a surprise move, he signed that U.S.-Iran agreement last night before a dinner with the French president.
This was not easy.
In a video posted online by French President Emmanuel Macron, President Trump signed the U.S.-Iran deal to a round of applause at the Palace of Versailles.
If they don't honor that, we'll probably go back to bombing them until they honor it. You know, it's amazing what bombs can do.
The 14-point Memorandum of Understanding states the U.S., Tehran, and their allies agree to immediately end all military operations, including in Lebanon. It also says Iran will reopen the Strait of Hormuz, including safe passage with no charge for the next 60 days while negotiations continue. And it reaffirms the regime shall not procure or develop nuclear weapons. The document stipulates Iran's nuclear program will be discussed in the next 60 days, temporarily waives sanctions on oil exports, and gives Iran $300 billion in reconstruction funds. Democratic lawmakers blasted the agreement, calling it a capitulation.
When you look at the 14 points that the administration has agreed to, it looks like Iran has won on just about every one of them.
The Iranians will have more access to cash stored all around the world.
Even some Republicans are frustrated. Bill Cassidy from Louisiana called it the worst foreign policy blunder in decades. But leaders at the G7 praised the deal, and Pope Leo said he hopes it will lead to stability in the Middle East. Vice President J.D. Vance will lead the discussions on Iran's nuclear enrichment. Tina Krause, CBS News, London.
Attorneys for Luigi Mangione now plan to use a psychiatric defense. This is at his state murder trial. You may remember he is the man accused of killing a Minnesota healthcare CEO. So his lawyers will argue that Mangione was suffering from extreme emotional disturbance at the time. If they win this argument, he could face a lesser prison sentence. The 28-year-old Mangione has pleaded not guilty to killing United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson back in December of 2024. Mangione's state trial is set to begin in early September.
A man accused of starting a fire at a historic resort wants his charges dismissed. Bryce Campbell owned Lutsen Lodge when it burned down in 2024. Prosecutors charged him about a year later. They say Campbell was struggling financially and started the fire to collect millions in insurance money. But Campbell's attorneys say there's not enough probable cause.
2 Anoka County transit workers are being celebrated for their heroic actions. Benjamin Highland and Matthew Brisson, they noticed a man who appeared to need assistance at Coon Lake Beach while they were working. The 2 men jumped into action when they saw that he had a gun and planned to shoot himself. They stopped it from happening. The Anoka County Sheriff awarded them medals of valor for their bravery and said that their courage and selflessness are nothing short of remarkable.